Welcome to the first episode of the Weekly Geek. My name is Nolan.
And I'm Franklin.
On the Weekly Geek, we're going to be going over the latest superhero movie news, video game information, and a little bit more. Today, what we're going to focus on is the recent release of the DC movie slate that's going to be coming out, and Franklin has that all in order for us here.
We have Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice 2016, Suicide Squad 2016, Wonder Woman coming out in 2017, Justice League Part 1 2017, The Flash 2018, Aquaman 2018, Shazam 2019, Justice League Part 2 2019, Cyborg 2020, and Green Lantern 2020. That's a very long list.
It's a very long list, and the thing that caught my eye first is they're doing a lot of standalone films after the first Justice League movie.
It's a little weird because we're so used to how Marvel did it, where they did all their hero movies first, and then they did the whole team movie. But that's a different direction that DC's going in, but maybe it could work.
Absolutely. You know, I hope they're not really trying to catch up to Marvel per se. Marvel, you know, had a lot of time. They had a lot of moving parts that they set up for the first Avengers movie. You know, I feel like the Justice League is going to be successful. It's like you said, it's just a little bit a different thing that we have to get used to. But very excited for it. Justice League is one of my favorite things to watch as a kid. It's definitely gonna pique my interest.
Yeah, I prefer DC over Marvel. I like everything about DC, every hero. So I'm excited for Justice League. I'm excited for all these standalone hero films. What really I think is interesting is that they have a Wonder Woman film, which is finally a female superhero movie that has not been around in a while. You had Catwoman, you had Elektra, and those were not great movies.
Those don't count as those female leads.
None of those female hero movies that came out have ever been really good. So I'm hoping that this movie does well.
Yeah, you know, I think it will. At first, I heard Gal Gadot, and all I could think of was that's the really skinny girl from Fast and Furious, and everyone knows Wonder Woman is a very Amazon. She's thicker than that, so I had a little bit of a problem with Gal Gadot at first.
I think she looks gorgeous in that Wonder Woman costume.
Definitely, she's definitely packed on some pounds, been working out, so she's definitely getting the look. And I think by the time they finish on the set of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, it's really I think it's going to come out to be a good film. The other thing that I was curious about was with The Flash, how they've come out with this TV series, which by the time the Flash movie comes out, they could really have 4 or 5 seasons under their belt of this Flash TV series. But they're going to be having a different actor play the Flash in the movie.
I think that's interesting. I can understand why they want to announce a different actor, because maybe they think that the actor who's playing Flash in TV series right now isn't doing well. Granted, there's only been 2 episodes that have been released. So I think, give it a season or 2, see how he does as the Flash, and then maybe if they would want to recast, I think they should recast that actor as Barry Allen for the Flash.
Yeah,
to me,
absolutely.
He's doing pretty well in the show so far.
Yeah, and I wish they just would have waited to, DC wait to say who they chose for the Flash, because if they think he has potential, give him the time, give him a couple seasons. The movie's far away. They really don't need to name someone so soon. Also naming The Rock in the Shazam film. I think they just need to take their time and see what they have with the TV series. Another person they're going to have to think of casting is Green Lantern, because Ryan Reynolds, who was also involved as Deadpool and X-Men Origins Wolverine, will be playing Deadpool in the Solo movie, the standalone movie.
Which I know a lot of fans are excited about finally, because Deadpool is a funny guy. He's very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like he did a good job in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I think he'll do a better job in the standalone. You can kind of get more of him. They really didn't show too much of what he can do, and I feel like they could really branch out in a standalone film. And speaking of Marvel, the other thing we wanted to talk about today was some of the nominations for the Doctor Strange film. Some ones that have come out recently: Ryan Gosling from The Notebook and Drive, I believe. And the other one was Ewan McGregor from the most recent Star Wars trilogy. I don't see Ryan Gosling as Doctor Strange at all. I definitely have a problem with that nomination. I don't think he can pull off that role as Doctor Strange to, as good as it can be. I think Ewan McGregor has a little bit better of a chance to pull it off. The one person, though, who I did not see on Marvel's nominations, which I think would be great, is Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, he, of course, played Khan in the most recent Star Trek film. He's really got the facial features, I feel, to be a Doctor Strange. I think he's got the look, he's got the voice, and I think I just think he's a better actor. I think he could really bring out the best of Doctor Strange in that film.
I think so, too.
And, and we were talking earlier about, Marvel, you had the Iron Man, you had more of the well-known superheroes that they released into movies in the beginning. And now they did Guardians of the Galaxy, we didn't know too much about. And now Doctor Strange, a different side of Marvel.
The magical side.
Yeah. And, I think now that they've really got a good audience behind them, releasing these type of movies, I think is going to be really great, and I'm really excited to see them.
I'm just excited for one day to see just a film with every hero that they've had in that universe, because that's what they said that they want. They just want to have all of them one day just live in the same world, just freely.
And, they are, Marvel has been saying they're going to be releasing some comics in 2015. One of them being Civil War, which could be tied to a future Avengers film. They're also re-releasing Secret Wars, which could be a really interesting movie down the road, of course, but a lot of moving parts with that movie. But with Civil War, I hope they don't go to it too soon, because I feel like they still have a lot left that they can do
Definitely.
with movies before they get to that point of really splitting up the superheroes
I feel like
against each
once they get to Avengers 3 and that, I can see them doing a Civil War. I cannot see it just being one movie. It has to be at least maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to tell in that whole war.
Absolutely, and just like how they had mentioned that Robert Downey Jr. could be in Captain America 3, to kind of start that divide, they're going to have movies, standalone films like they've been doing to set up Avengers 2 and the first Avengers, and the one that will feature Thanos in Avengers 3. They got to have those to set up that Civil War as well. So that is really far down the road.
If they're going to have a Civil War, there's got to be at least like 10 heroes on each side of on that battle, because right now we have 6, maybe 7 or 8 heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now that you have seen in films, and to just have a war with 8 people, that could be much.
3 or 4 is not enough. It's really not going to bring out as much of a film as you'd want to see.
But we do know that most likely the leaders of these 2 sides will be Captain America and Iron Man, because that's how it is in the comics.
Absolutely, and 2 great characters. I mean, you got Robert Downey Jr., who really brings out Tony Stark and Iron Man perfectly. And I think, in Chris Evans, they really have a good Captain America. And, in the first Avengers movie, they had their times where they were fighting, and you could picture a divide at some point. You could see that really working. Mm-hmm. But, of course, that's a little bit ways down the road. So that is it here at the first episode of the Weekly Geek. Stay tuned for next week. We will be talking a little bit more about the upcoming Star Wars film to release in 2015, as well as more superhero news that will be released across the week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at NolanWeeklyGeek, and you guys have a nice weekend.